It says we are live, and there's the light. Oh, there are different angles of camera. Okay. YouTube, Facebook. Good morning. My name is David. If this is your first visit to our community, uh, I guess the most important thing that we can say about the community is that we are right in the um, we are bringing Project 10,000, uh, the system that we created, to as many of the 387 metropolitan statistical areas, MSAs, that there are in the country. And I am preparing my next market launch as we speak for Columbus, Ohio, just up the road about 125 miles. A lot of interesting things happen in Columbus, Ohio. It has always been a retail test market, if you didn't know. Uh, Many concepts, many places where you buy today, many places where you eat today, uh, a fast and slow, both they test market in Columbus to get a read of what value they can bring to that particular marketplace, and that then they make the determination, okay, based upon the findings, what's our next market, is our next market, etc. uh, I am very, very excited about Columbus. Personally, there was a time in my life, it's probably around 2003, 4, and 5. I was on the Ohio governor at that time, Robert Taft. I was on his Small Business Advisory Council for 3 years, and I was one of 24 other small business owners from across the state. The interesting thing about the gathering, the community, I was the only one that came into the group without a political affiliation. And I told the governor's screening committee before, as they were screening me to come on, that if that if that's important, I'm not the right person for you. My concern is small business. Not at that time, but today, now, I have been a small business owner for the last 55 years, and proudly a third generation small business owner, second generation publishing. My father and I were simultaneously publishing similar monthly periodicals in different markets, about 600 miles apart. And it was a great year. It was actually the last year I communicated with my father, and it was a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to share what was working and not working, what should we be doing, and it was a wonderful, wonderful year of my life that I spent publishing. But that was a long time ago, and a lot of things have happened, and uh, I am I am so excited about what is going on today in the artificial intelligence bizarre, maddening world that we're now living in. I am actually having a lot of fun watching how things develop, because uh, what is happening in business, and it can happen to a one person business operation, or a thousand, 10,000, million person business operation. When you ask the right questions of your AI technology of choice, uh, you will then get a result, and it'll take your thoughts maybe and take them to another level, share some additional ideas, something that you may not have thought about. That's exactly what's happening. And as I said, it can happen to um, one person operating out of their home, uh, two people. It doesn't matter how many. Uh, I The mission of Project 10,000 is to digitally publish and digitally produce, and produce, I mean, a YouTube live and a Facebook live. And then I'll take the URLs and publish them wherever I, wherever will take my URL appropriately, my YouTube URL. And I'm looking for 10,000 folks, business folks. They, as I said, they could be any size business. Does not really matter. And simultaneously, the project is looking for 387 co-producers and co-sponsors collaborating with me in that market, in whatever market we might be, so that that's part of the system. The system is literally a week-long system, and we create lots of noise wherever we put in one of our systems. A lot of noise, a lot of customer touch points. That's always been my specialty, my authority is creating customer care touch points, because each one of those touch points represents an opportunity for that company, that individual, to enhance the existing relationship that they have with their customer and take it to the next level. That's what the system does, pure and simple. And it will create an enormous amount of touch points in any market where we installed, if you will, the system. So that's what Project 10,000 is all about. Um, I also wanted to kick off, as soon as I can find my kicking tee, uh, some things that have been happening this week. Uh, well, actually, a couple of the things that are in emails that I read just today, and let's see if I can find them on my new iPad. Okay, the first one just came this morning, and very appropriately came this morning from a longtime friend of mine. As a matter of fact, Barbara and I is operating differently than my. At any rate, Barbara today mentions that it is National Business Insurance Day, national, where anybody in business needs to examine what you have in the way of insurance and what you don't have in the way of insurance that will be important for you in your business as you grow it. Or maybe if you don't have the insurance and should have had it, you're not going to be able to grow it. That's what the day is all about. To have that conversation, a good person to have that conversation with is your CPA. You certainly can see what artificial intelligence has to say about it. That's actually a very good idea. So use your favorite tool, Chat GPT, whatever it may be. And there's right now there are millions of AI technology platforms available, uh, virtually for whatever your need might be. And I think one of the emails that I read that I wanted to share uh, says that if you are involved in business, it is incumbent upon you to uh, uh, take a look, to explore, to understand what AI can and cannot do for your business. It You must take that position. If you don't, you will not last very long, um, and that goes for folks that have businesses, small businesses on Main Street. As I say, I have visited thousands of merchants on Main Street in my 55 years, and had some. That's where I learned. That's where I learned everything that I bring to the table today. I learned from my customers. I learned by doing and asking questions and providing solutions, uh, and not stop our fight. Be persistent enough because it's the right thing to do until we find that solution. I I'm very good at that. uh, I remember I had found my way into a manufacturer marketing. The guy who made marketing decisions, Dan, for one of the tire companies, General Tire in Akron. He was on my radar screen for a while, and I uh, couldn't necessarily get an appointment with him. So uh, through the front desk of this big company, uh, she said, "I think Dan's in his office right now, and why don't you go up and see?" Is what She's a nice lady. I can't remember what her name was, but I went up with Dan and we started talking, and he was trying, and there was no pre. I mean, it was just a thing in the moment. There was no agenda. There was absolute. Well, I knew what my agenda was. I had no idea what was on his agenda. So we met. We started talking, and he was he. This is a true story. He was challenged with finding a solution that I brought into that room that day. Not, and we never had a conversation before. I'd done some homework and I had some good feelings about what might happen, but never to. And he kind of looks at me and uh, he smiles, and I go over and I close the door. I close the door. This is the first time Dan and I had ever met. I went over and I closed the door and came back in, and I said, "We'll open the door when we've got an agreement in place that this is what you'll do, this is what I'll do, and this is what we'll make happen. We'll have expectations." And he kind of smiled and he said, "David, you're rather persistent, aren't you?" And I said, very simply, I said, "Dan, I'm persistent when I know it's the right thing to do." And he smiled, and he went on to be a fantastic. We had a great relationship. We spent a lot of time together. He actually gave me the General Tire. Wow, two of the thousands of General Tire tickets he had for the Indianapolis 500, and the year that he and I were friends. He gave me the tickets to go see it. It's the first time I'd ever been to the Indianapolis 500. And being General Tire, we had very, very good seats undercover on the first turn. It was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it, and had a really wonderful time. But but things happen for a reason, and that's a theme of an ongoing theme of mine. Uh, Things happen for a reason, and it's our obligation as human being is to understand what it is, why, and then go for it, and that's going to be the right thing to do. Wow, it has been for me. I've been very blessed. It has been for me, and uh, that's the that's the spirit that we want to bring into the communities. And let's see what another email was. Uh, let's do this one. It just came in this morning. It just came in this morning. I I don't know that I actually agreed with the article. Well, I didn't totally agree with the article. I can't find it now. Um, but it's there. Well, I can't find it. It essentially, and I said I didn't agree with it, but the point that I most certainly agreed with, and I just shared it with you, is that as a business, or and it might not necessarily be a business. It's an organization, a, uh, a a unit, whatever it is that organization is needed, so that you are able to define how to get to your next step. Uh, that's that's what's so very important. So I, well, it'll segue now into an epiphany, an entrepreneurial epiphany that I had this week. It happens to be in publishing. Uh, for the longest time, I had seen this doodle art, and uh, it was really kind of neat. And I really wanted to publish something that had doodle art as a component. I wanted to. A couple of years ago, I bought the application to do it very inexpensively, but I never had time to do it. And the time that I was able to devote to it, excuse me, the time that I was able to devote for it was wasted time. Somebody else could do it a lot better than myself. I could get a result, but it took too long for me to get that result. Uh, so uh, that happened this week, and I saw the art again. I saw a different version of the art this time, somebody else's, and they call it Insta Doodle. And I went and I purchased under $30, I believe, their application. And I've really I've taken tutorials. I'm trying to do it, and I'm creating, but um, I'm still wasting time trying to create. So what did I do this week? I actually contacted two women who were in graphics, my graphics design department, when I had my magazine back in 1978 and 79. That's how far back it goes. I contacted two of the three artists that we had that were on my payroll this week. Yeah, the last couple of days to see if they had any interest in creating graphic design for me again, with the use of software this time. You wouldn't have to necessarily do it. You wouldn't have to do it. It does it. That's the purpose of the application. And both of them sent me really, really nice notes that they are in points of their life they're definitely not as old as I am, and I would say that they're not 10 years younger than I am. Anyways, they're younger than I am, and it was fun for them to say, "Geez, after all these years, you still wanna you still wanna collaborate and work as a team." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, basically yes. That's uh, you did such a wonderful job for me back in those years." Um, Sarah, I've known the longest. She was with me on the first publication that I bought, and then I started the second one, and Sarah was right there. Uh, I could, I know what I want a piece of paper to say. I know what I want it to do. Uh, I'm not necessarily sure how to tell the story graphically the best way, and that was then Sarah's job to put it all together and come back with a page. That's how we worked as a team, and Sarah was able to generate for me. 99.9% of the time, exactly what I wanted. It was amazing. And so it was fun to go back to Sarah and Barbara to see if they had any interest. And they both had interest, and they both continued to do things. But a deadline is not what either one of them needs in their life. Absolutely not. They don't need deadlines. Uh, I That's all I know how to live is deadlines. As a publisher, I've been doing it 55 years. But the reason I said that uh, every Saturday is Small Business Saturday for me, every single Saturday since I've been alive has been a Small Business Saturday because small business has always been in our family, and so it's it's truly a surreal. It's truly a surreal experience to do all the things that I am doing right now, based upon how I did them, based upon how I want to do them, need to do them. Um, so let me get into this. The last, uh, well, definitely going to be the last written publishing thing that I will ever do. Um, and I'm also going to be exploring to see if I might be able to add video with it and really make it a unique publication. But uh, in doing this, something else hit me this week. It's an ad that I saw somewhere about uh, writing children's book. So you want to write a children's book, but you don't know how to. Well, we have software. We have an application that all you do is you type in certain things and let AI do the work. I said, yeah, that sounds a little bit neat, but uh, what if that AI technology searches the wrong database of information? How deep does the research go? How deep does the learning go in that particular uh, uh, technology of your choice? Uh, I have two that I use. Uh, I absolutely have to use Google's AI technology because uh, since I have been digitally publishing and producing in the last 17 years, Google Alphabet, Google YouTube servers somewhere have 99.9% of everything that I have published or produced. So, uh, in order for me to, it'll be fun. It'll be fun for me to take an AI application of all the knowledge that I had, uh, and so I want to do a book. I want it to be children's book in nature. I want it to be a story that a grandfather or father, Grandpa David, could tell a grandchild, a child, or a grandchild. My two sons have heard enough of my stories, and they're out publishing their own stories that are fantastic ones. But excuse me, my oldest granddaughter, Eloise, was responsible uh, for being the first one to say Grandpa David. She's going to be 12 in August, and Grandpa David wants to be at your birthday party, Eloise. But I want to share it with Eloise. I mean, I'm going to start the project and do the project, hoping that she will be involved. But it's going to be the story of a artificial intelligence character by the name of Grandpa David. It's not really artificial intelligence, real. It's going to be telling the story of entrepreneurship in the form of ABCs to his grandchild. And in this case, the grandchild's name will be Eloise. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what platform I'm going to use. I'm putting the ideas together, but what know that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this book that I published in 2008. I published it in 2007. Wrote it, edited it, manufactured it with a printer in a total of 100 days in 2000. The last 100 days of 2007 was 2008 New Year's Day that I formally introduced the book. It was a wonderful 24/7 experience with publishing a book. And there are literally 749 questions that I devised this list. The way I came up with the number 749, true story. I was reading a book, and it actually was 400 questions or attributes or something that entrepreneurs need to bring to the table, need to question, need to understand. And I said, well, geez, if he can do 400, I'm going to do 800. I want to bring more value to the marketplace. So I found a printer who sat on with me at the Governor's Advisory Council in 2003. We had a wonderful relationship, and he lived not too far from Columbus. And so I drove up to him and shared with him my vision and my idea. And he took it and gave it over to his technology person at the time. And the technology person created a spreadsheet that I would put all my questions on the spreadsheet, and their number of the question, the keyword in there, because keywords are very, very, very important in the concept of marketing and sales and business. It's about keywords. And he created it, but he came back to me and said 800 is not going to work. 750 will work in the technology spreadsheet that he was creating. I said, okay, instead of 750, let's make it 749. He said, fine. That's how we came up with the number 749. So, as I said, keyword index is the most important thing in my mind in any business book. And it's actually the second thing that I go to when I pick up a book or look for a book to read about business, marketing and sales. That's how boring I am. But my 749 questions generated about 1,000 keywords. Some of them duplicated, but came in conceptually they were different, but there were 1,000 of them. So these are then my ABCs that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to take them as I see them and decide. And that's going to be how the book is going to conceptually work. I'll let AI create some artwork, and Eloise will have the opportunity anywhere in my process of doing it and publishing it to ask me a pertinent question that somehow will appear in the book that I'm working on. My plan is to have two plans I'm going to explore. I don't know which one I'm going to do yet. One would be an annual, a one-time only subscription that you'd pay one time, and every month you would get a video email, and that email would have copy, written copy, and links to copy, and also a video of mine that I feel is pertinent. That will be a monthly project, and so anybody that participates in any aspect of Project 10,000 will have the ability to email me directly, that it will be answered positively by me about entrepreneurship, business, small business, marketing and sales, value trust. Those are my areas of expertise. And we will create the stories, and I want to create 10,000 stories. And if you think you might be one of those 10,000, and there's going to be a price on each one of those 10,000. I won't share it now, but if you're interested, send me an email at dleopold@davidsbarter.com, dleopold@davidsbarter.com, dleopold. And in that email, share with me why you believe that what you are doing brings value to your marketplace, and ultimately, what are the things that you are doing or need to do to develop the trust that is needed for a buying decision to be made. Marketing and sales, I shouldn't say simply, but marketing and sales is about understanding human behavior. I never took a psychology course in college. I probably should have. Yeah, I should have. And once again, I've learned by talking with people and interacting with people. That's really the only thing I can share are my experiences, and they've worked for me. Why can't they work for you? And that's what Project 10,000 is all about. My value trust story, marketing sales value trust story, has been going on and continues to go on for 55 years, and having a lot of fun. That I have to make sure it keeps going, and that's what Project 10,000 is all about. So, wanted to publish a children's book. Working title is the ABCs of Entrepreneurship. As in stories told about entrepreneurship, small business, whatever. That'll be the working title. And then we'll go from there. Let me know what you think about the idea. Well, let me tell you why. I didn't tell you that most important part, why I know it has to work. I told you Eloise is going to be 12 years old, and when she was 7, and the way that we have basically learned about each other is through videos, video chatting, FaceTiming, because we've always lived in distant cities. But when Eloise was 7, and you see all that Chaza right behind me, back when she was 7, she kept saying the word entrepreneur, and she said, "Grandpa David, what's an entrepreneur?" And I said, "Oh my, why did it take this long for you?" No, I had a big smile in my face, probably a couple of tears in my eye, and I mumbled some answer back that I'm sure Eloise didn't understand. It was a stand-up comedy comeback, but I did summarize the conversation saying that, sweetheart, I will spend the rest of my life showing you what an entrepreneur is. And she was actually the motivation for me to do all the things that I'm doing. And obviously, Eloise, sweetheart, I will dedicate the book to you, the concept to you. Once again, I want to create a book monthly, uh, 10 pages, dozen pages. I don't know yet. And create a video to introduce that book, and having fun with the idea. It's the book is something a grandparent or parent should read with a child or grandchild. That's the connection. Uh, as I said, I'm a third generation, but I never had those opportunities of this is why we do what we do. And I watched. I watched my grandfather perform his unbelievable things that he did in his business. And my dad's a publisher. Obviously, I said uh, the last year of Dad's life, 27, 52 years ago. It'll be 52 years ago. Um, we were able to spend in the same industry, publishing the same type of publication in cities 600 miles apart, and constant conversations back and forth. And it was fun for me to be able to have those conversations with my father. So mine wasn't so much here's a lesson to be learned. I was doing and creating the lessons to be learned. So real excited about the concept of the book. Uh, Not so sure how excited I am about the technology platform I will use, but I say that sarcastically. It's AI. Fortunately or unfortunately, AI is making the publishing world a brand new world, because every single day, supposedly new business ideas are being brought to the market by AI. And so embrace it any way you can to see if it works for you. And if you want to have a conversation about it, maybe we'll have a panel conversation someday that we will. If any folks want to talk about AI in a live stream, Facebook, YouTube live stream, Facebook live stream, please send me an email and we will create the experience. It'll be a wonderful experience for you, and it'll be Project 10,000 doing what we do. Thank you for your time today. Wow. Thank you for almost 40 minutes of your time today. I hope that you were able to take at least at least one idea away, at least one lesson to be learned, today from the last 40 minutes. If you have, you have made it a very wonderful day for me. We'll see you soon. And maybe the next time will be the very best time. I usually do that taking a sip.